Okay, here we are. We're in the van. Everything's loaded. Made a huge mistake building the bed. It's an inch too short for all the stuff that I was going to put underneath it to fit underneath it. So I got all kinds of space underneath the bed, and everything else. So anyways, it was 16 degrees this morning. It's January the 5th, 2018. We got 2,200 miles to go, and Ruby the Red Dog's ready to go. I wanted to wait till noon till some of this snow started melting, because it was 16 degrees last night. You can see I still got ice on the windshield. But anyways, we're going to try and get several hundred miles down the road and away from all the precipitation, because it's going to be colder than you know what tonight. But if I'm not sitting in snow and stuff, then I won't have to wait till noon for it to start melting tomorrow. So anyways, first day of the trip, RTR bound. Taking my sister along with me in spirit. She was supposed to be coming, didn't make it, died in April. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here if I can't get over to the interstate without any mishaps, because the roads are still pretty crummy. So I'll talk more later. So after all the planning and everything that I did, and measuring and carrying on and so forth, I went to load the van up, had all the stuff in these milk crates, and they wouldn't fit in there. And of course now it fits. Fits even better. I'll get it up off the carpet. Why wouldn't it go in there the other day? That's why. That's why, right? It fits, but I can't take the carpet out because the dog needs it. What if I do it back here? No, even tighter back there. And you can see it's just really less than 1/4 of an inch too low. And it's even worse up here. This one, it's just not gonna fit in there, especially with the carpet. So my plan is to take the saw and come up and cut a little slot. And then I know it will fit in there. And if I have to slam on the brakes like I did when those deer jumped in front of me, everything won't come sliding forward, because Ruby was right here with all this stuff piled on top of her. And I'll have to do it even a little more in the back. Alright, let me turn this off and I'll go get one of the purple buckets and see how much it has to be cut. Well, the purple bucket is even a little higher, maybe 1/2 an inch. And I'll do the same thing. I'll come up and cut Just so that it shouldn't weaken the bed any. Not that little bit of wood. I'll have to cut those nylon straps off. And then those will slide under there the way I designed. And then I'll have all this room here, which is what I planned on originally. Ruby's bed can go up there. Everything back here will be the porta potty. And I'll run a piece of wood from here over and angle iron it in like that so that the porta potty will stay back here and I'll be able to use it instead of, because last time it was in the corner, had a diagonal, and I'm standing on my toes because this was piled all the way up to here, and all that space under the bed was not being used at all. One straw and many straws. We could have probably made do, but we didn't. So all that stuff is back in the living room. The trip is canceled. I'm a little angry at myself for letting such a dumb mistake, because I measured and measured and measured when I built that bed, and for whatever reason I just didn't try it out to see if it fit. I didn't find out it didn't fit until I was loading the van to leave. So coldest temperatures in at least 10 years, third highest snowfall on top of freezing rain, delayed our departure, and nothing would fit the way I had it planned. And the final straw was Thursday night at the campground between Augusta and Atlanta. We've had a nice afternoon, nature walk with Ruby, and fed her inside the van, fed me inside the van, getting ready to go to bed so we can get an early start. And I can't find my pistol. All I have is an empty holster. I can't tell you how panicked that made me feel. I didn't know if I left it at home, lost it at a roadside area, but it was utter panic. So we came back home. On the way, had to brake really hard for a herd of deer. I drove between deer number 2 and deer number 3, and since none of that stuff was under the bed, it all came crashing forward with poor Ruby between it and the bulkhead. She didn't get hurt, but that just told me that it needed to be fixed before we take any trips. So this week, while the weather's nice, I'll fix it. All of the milk crates can go out there and stay out there. The water stuff can stay inside. And once those little tweaks are done, then I found 2 campgrounds within an hour's drive of here that are wilderness. Well, they're semi-primitive. They've got vault toilets and running water, so that'll make camping a lot nicer, but we're going to go out and spend some time doing that. And I'm going to quit trying to say anyways on the videos. Anyways, that's what I'm planning on doing. Alright, 2 days later, I'm calmed down, thoroughly disappointed and disgusted with myself for making such a stupid mistake. And lessons learned. On a good note, the van drove well. I didn't slip and slide too much getting out of here because the roads were covered with ice until you got about 40-50 miles inland. And Ruby and I slept in the van without heat because I couldn't put the heater anywhere because the place I was going to put it had milk crates and plastic containers stacked on it, and there was nowhere else to put it without being a fire danger. So Ruby and I slept in the van, and it got down to 18 degrees Fahrenheit, and we were quite comfortable. There wasn't much in the way of condensation. Ruby did get cold because with not being able to pack everything under the bed, I couldn't take her doggy bed, which is her preferred place to sleep, and it would have insulated her from the floor of the van. But once I get all that stuff back up underneath the bed, then her bed will fit right up by the door, and I can stand it up during the daytime when we don't need it. So this year's RTR is a bust. I could have come home, fixed it, got back on the road, but then I would have had to drive straight there, time schedules, blah blah. And this was supposed to be a nice leisurely trip out, stopping to see things on the way. So a combination of weather, my goof ups, and everything else, I'll just wait and do it next year. Next year I know everything will have been tried and tested. Next year I'll have saved a little more money, maybe take an even longer time out there. Instead of 3 weeks, maybe make it a month. And until then, we can use the van to evacuate in case of storms. We can use the van for weekend trips to the beach. We can use the van for weekend trips to the mountain, or week-long trips, however long we want to go. So that's about all I have to say on that. It was from starting from scratch. I don't consider it a failure because we actually did get out on the road. We did camp successfully and thoroughly enjoyed it. Right up to the point where I was totally panicked and freaked out over a missing firearm that wasn't really even missing. So, and I've got a technique so that will never happen again. Okay, I'm going to sign off. There's enough of my babbling. Enjoy the RTR, those of you that actually made it. Talk to you later.